Hello, 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 and welcome to a new pick a card reading. Today we're going to take a look at what do the next 72 hours, that is 3 days, have in store for you. And I am filming this at the beginning of Leo season 2022, but whenever you do find this reading, my friend, I used to be a teacher and we used to call children my friend all the time. Whenever you find this, my friend, that is when you are supposed to see it. So we've got 4 piles or 4 columns, if you will. So column / pile 1, we have a widow or eine Witwe. Pile 2 / column 2, right? Column. A dark-haired man. Ein braunhaariger Mann. I will learn the Italian and Spanish pronunciation soon. Pile 3, we have pleasant pastime. Vergnügen. Thanks for letting me stumble through my German, everyone. And pile 4, we have angry woman or eine zornige Frau. Angry woman. So again, my friends, this is for the next 72 hours. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Timestamps will be below in the description. And if you are a return friend, thank you for coming back. If you're new, welcome. Yeah, so let's hop to it. And if you can just take a moment before hopping to it, see how I psyched you out there, to like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the drill. All right, let's get to it for real this time. Hi, pile 1. If you are here, you picked a widow. This is from the Sylvia Oracle deck. I talk very well. And a lot of interesting things about this card, pile 1. But before we dive into this, I just do want to explain. I've got 3 cards from 2 different tarot decks, and we'll kind of use them for each day or each 24 hours, if you will, to see what is going on for you in the next 72 hours. So looking at this card again, the widow, or a widow, I'm sorry, usually has a quote-unquote negative connotation in the sense that maybe you or somebody has been experiencing a despondence. It doesn't necessarily have to be relationship or love related, but a painful ending to something that could have felt like such a very important part of your life, especially with 44 up here. That's 8. And 8 is kind of this number of completion. I also always think of the infinity sign. So it kind of reminds me of a cyclical sort of nature as well, pile 1. This also could represent if you aren't experiencing any sort of loss or disappointment. Maybe there's somebody in your life, and the cards are typically interpreted as like a woman, but it could be anybody, maybe somebody with more feminine energy. It's somebody who's not at their finest hour. They're kind of in a woe is me sort of mindset. And they're like Debbie Downer. You can be the most cheerful person in the world, and no matter what you do or say, they will find a way to make life miserable. So I don't know if that's you or somebody in your life, pile 1, but that's kind of the overall vibe of what you're going to be dealing with the next 72 hours. But let's, again, look at the tarot cards to kind of get a deeper look at each day, and how things are going to play out and shake out for you. All right, first I'm going to do the Holly Simple Tarot. First 24 hours, 9 of Cups. Lovely. Justice. And the 3 of Wands in reverse. And to be clear, I pre-pulled these, but I have not seen them yet, so it's a reveal for all of us. But pile 1, this looks really promising the next 3 days or the next 72 hours, whichever time parameter you prefer. So right off the bat, we've got the 9 of Cups. This is such a cool card because it's a sign of completion, right? Literally all sort of aspects of your life sort of being full in terms of completion, especially emotional fulfillment, right? Because we've got the cups, which are all about emotion, water, things of that nature, and satisfaction, like overall satisfaction. So maybe this overall vibe of this widow vibe, however you took it from the beginning, maybe there's going to be some release from that, or especially with the Justice card here, like right next to it, day 2, I feel like whatever, more and more, I'm starting to think this isn't you. This is somebody else in your life that is just kind of, you know, maybe they're a friend who's been through a lot, but they still find, and you know, you want to be sympathetic towards them, but you also can't be their therapist sort of thing. I don't know why that just came to me, but it's kind of the vibe I'm getting, especially with the 3 of Wands in reverse. Usually the 3 of Wands in the standard deck, it's a figure standing with 3 wands, if you will, overlooking a valley in a sort of almost Lion King moment where it's like everything the sun touches will be yours. A sort of preparation. So I'm sort of seeing for the next 72 hours, you know, day 1, feeling good about something, and especially in relation to this energy of this person or situation, like justice has been served. But there might be some fallout you weren't prepared for, especially with fire, or the wands rather, a passionate sort of sign with an energy that's already feels kind of volatile. But let's take a look at the cosmic slumber pile 1 to see, kind of clarify each day or 24-hour time period, if you will. And really quickly before, if you are enjoying this, please sorry, my dog just snored. Like, comment, share, subscribe, you know the drill. I really appreciate it and appreciate you being here. So let's get some clarification, pile 1. We've got Temperance right under the 9 of Cups. Interesting. The King of Swords in reverse under Justice. And the 10 of Torches, or the 10 of Wands, under the 3 of Wands reversed. With this Temperance and the 9 of Cups, a lot of water flowing and pouring back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, so I'm feeling that there was some sort of contradictions going on, or back and forth going on with this energy in your life. And you've kind of had to do an almost balancing act around this person or energy or situation. And this card with Temperance, they kind of look bored, right? They're, oh, I can't believe I have to freaking still balance this water on my foot and keep pouring it back and forth. Like, they seem very disgruntled about having to do this, or tired, or just like they aren't able to give to all their different cups because they're really, really preoccupied with this one. But what I'm seeing here with the King of Swords in reverse, with the Justice above it, there's sort of a breaking of tradition. Because the Swords are all about reason and logic. And the King here, he's on this very cool, almost fiery cloud throne, if you will. And he looks concerned. Like, he's literally, like, the way the cards are lined up, y'all. Like, looking at this, like, But, she yelled, in reverse, I feel like by releasing this sort of serious aggravation or whatever's going on with you, pile one, day two is going to be kind of a continuation of this in the sense that you realize day one that in order to fill your cup, you can't just be focusing on the one, and to bring that balance back, you're not going to take this so seriously. You're not going to let it interfere with what you really want to be filling your cup with. And this might be something that this energy or person or situation wasn't prepared for, with the Three of Wands in reverse. And like right here, the 10 of Torches or the 10 of Wands. Day three might be, or the last 72 or the last 24 hours of the 72-hour time period rather, might be a little uncomfortable, is what I'm getting, pile one. But the things you set in motion in the first 48 hours, like even though this person's carrying a lot, they're still moving forward, right? They've still got that momentum, and they're not looking back at this situation. So there might be some, I'm getting sort of like blowback, or yeah, this energy or whatever it is, pile one, just feels so exhausting. Just like, we get it. Like whatever they're just harping on or just always upset about, it's just exhausting. That's what I'm getting, pile one. Yeah, I think that's going to conclude your reading. Just to kind of recap, first 24 hours, something might happen that makes you realize that you've kind of been filling one cup for this situation, and that in order to have the balance, you need to take this less seriously. And day three, or the last 24 hours of the 72-hour period, might bring you something you weren't prepared for, especially something like kind of passionate or fiery, in terms of you've got, you know, 2 Torches or Wands cards. But then the cycle's complete, right? With the 10 of Swords, or I'm sorry, the 10 of Torches. 10 is done. We're done. We're walking away. We're done with the situation. So I think this is going to be a kind of an eventful 3 days or 72 hours for you, pile one. But I think ultimately it's getting you where you should be going. Because again, look at this character. There's like, bye-bye. Like, this is right before they go into their montage scene of glowing up or whatever, you know, like, they're like, oh yeah, you say I can't do this? I can do this. I don't know why I just got that. But yes, pile one, that for real concludes your reading. I hope that something resonated. If it did, please let me know in the comments. I'm gonna say it again for, you know, purposes of promotion. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. It really, really, like, I cannot express to you how much that little click helps. And I really appreciate it. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the near future. All right, bye, pile one. Hello, hello. If you're here, you are pile or column 2, and you picked a dark-haired man. Ooh la la. So this is from the Sylvia Oracle deck, and a dark-haired man also correlates, I believe this is the Jack of Spades, or the Knight, if you will. And this card is usually about somebody, usually a masculine presence. This could be in you or somebody else, like a young, hardworking man. I don't know why I said it like that. But it refers to people who are like genuinely attentive and thoughtful. This could be a friend or a family member. It doesn't really necessarily come off as like a suitor, but it's just like somebody who's just very much a cordial presence. I just feel like overall, pile 2, the vibe I'm kind of getting is just a very pleasant 72 hours. But let's see what the tarot cards have to say for you. And I don't think I explained this in the intro, but basically I've got 2 tarot decks, and we're going to look at sort of, you know, day 1, day 2, day 3, because 72 hours is 3 days, y'all. From one deck, and then clarify with another deck. And that's how we're going to see what your next 72 hours are like. So let's rock and roll, y'all. All right, we've got the 10 of Swords in reverse, Two of Torches, or the Two of Wands. And the Prince, or the Knight of Torches, or Wands. And to be clear, I have not, I pre-pulled these, but I have not seen them yet, so it's a reveal for everyone. So right now, with pile one, with day one, or the first 24 hours, pile two, I feel like you're being set free from something, I'm getting some sort of like mindset or way of thinking, especially with the swords, which is all about, you know, air, logic, reason. You are being released from that. Even in reverse, I'm kind of getting that, because usually when it's upright, I feel like it's a more, or at least the way I interpret it, a more devastating event, whatever that can mean to you. You know, one where you're like, I'm going to go home and cry for a while. But here I feel like when it's in reverse, it's kind of like your decision, if that makes sense. You're like, no, I'm done with this mindset, or these parameters. I keep, like, these rules is what I keep getting, pile two. So that is something that might be happening day one, first 24 hours for you. And then we've got two for day two and day three, Torches, or Wands, which are all about fire. And this one, two is always around a of choice, right? Especially, literally, this figure has two different ways they could go. With the fire above both doors, it feels like two different things you're passionate about. If this is you, pile two, this figure represents you trying to figure out which way to go in a situation that lights you up, if you will. Because again, we've got the Wands, a lot of fire energy here. So maybe this could have to do with Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. Yes, I got them all. Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. It could have to do with somebody or somebody in that, with that in their chart. It could be you having that in their chart, your chart. I talk really, really well, y'all. I'm just looking up really quickly a reversal. So while I'm doing that, if you want to like, comment, share, subscribe, you know the drill. You know the drill. Yeah, okay, this is starting to make more sense to me. Or pile two, I was kind of had to like just look at everything for a moment. So, like I was saying, day one, you are releasing something that you're just fed up. You're just literally flying out of this. I'm getting like a catapult or a slingshot, or like, and you're ready to head like straight into the unknown. Because again, you've got all these choices, all two of them. But there's a courage about it, right? Especially with the fire, with the passion. And day three with the Prince of Torches, or the Knight of Torches, there's a sort of tenacity on day three. Maybe a bit, you know, reckless or impulsive at points, but ultimately you are just lit up about something is what I'm getting, pile two. Something is just really shot you into momentum. The next 3 days is what I'm getting. But let's take a look at the Holly Symbol to clarify, or to get a little more insight into these next 72 hours for you. So we've got the Six of Cups. I'm like, oh, I'm just sorry. Oh, Four of Cups in reverse. And the Daughter, or the Page of Cups in reverse. So yeah, a lot of feelings happening here. So something, I'm getting a feeling now, especially with the Six of Cups right underneath the Ten of Swords in reverse, the thing you're letting go of is something from your past. It could be a childhood trauma. It could be a past relationship. There's something that you used to sort of look at in a, maybe with this card, an almost nostalgic way, especially with a sort of gentleman caller. Like, does this person exist in real life? I don't want to say no. You know, this sort of sweet, unassuming, very genuine person. Maybe there's somebody in your past you're kind of painting like that, and you finally let go of that, right? Like, the contemplation is done. I'm getting with the Four of Cups in reverse. The contemplation is over pile 2. You are ready to jump into the unknown. And what I'm interested in is with the Prince of Torches, which again is about this sort of very let's friggin' go sort of energy, with this Page of Cups in reverse. And the page is also usually about like new energy, like seeing things through a child's eyes sort of thing. And even sort of synchronicity, like things just lining up for you. So I think pile 2, with it in reverse, I'm not getting, here's the weird thing. I'm not getting it's like, oh, you're going to go into something super reckless and mess something up. That's not what I'm getting. What I'm getting is you're going to move forward, and yeah, you know, you might sort of Kool-Aid man your way through the wall, and, you know, people are like, man, you busted that wall, man. They're like, yeah, but I brought a front Kool-Aid. So I think it's what the daughter or the Page of Cups in reverse is saying is even if you don't see the signs or synchronicities, you can keep moving forward, pile 2. I don't know why the Kool-Aid man came into my head. But yeah, just to kind of sum it up for you, pile 2, the next 72 hours, day 1 or first 24 hours, I see you releasing something from your past that you've kind of seen through rose-colored glasses, finally releasing that and being ready to go into the unknown because you've done the contemplating, you've been ready for a while. And so that's why this energy is so fierce and passionate. And this is just a reminder on day 3, maybe if you do, you know, that's not to say like, just go buck wild and do whatever you want, you know, but if you do sort of get a little messy, if you will, in your haste, or if you feel like the signs aren't lining up for you, even though you are working really hard, really quickly, don't be disheartened. Pile 2 is what I'm getting. Yeah, so that's a cool 72 hours for you, y'all. It seems like something's really gonna light a fire under your ass in a cool way, and I'm excited for you. Definitely let me know in the comments if that happens. Yeah, but thank you again so much for being here. Like, honestly, I cannot even tell you how much I appreciate you watching this, liking, commenting, subscribing, because, you know, doing a little energy exchange, if you will. But yeah, thank you again, pile 2, and I hope you have a great next 72 hours. Bye. Hello, if you are here, you are pile 3, and you picked Pleasant Pastime of Vergnügen. Again, thank you for hanging out with me while I practice my German. Haven't practiced since high school. But anyway, pile 3. This is a very joyful card. A lot of celebration clearly happening. This is from the Sylvia Oracle deck. I actually got this in like Italy in like 2014 maybe, which is wild. I've just had it for so long. Anyway, yeah, something exciting, gathering, social events happening, enjoying your hobbies, happy outcomes, results, and news. This is a very sort of positive card that we're sort of getting for the next 3 days for you, or the next 72 hours, pile 3. I don't think I explained this in the intro, but what I'm going to do next is I've got 2 different tarot decks that I'm going to pull, or didn't I already pulled them, but reveal to all of us, because I don't know what they are either, your next 3 days, or the next, you know, 24, 48, 72 hours sort of thing. So let's hop right into it. With the Holly Simple, we've got the World in reverse. The 6 of Wands. Ooh, and Strength. You know what's interesting, pile 3, is I do remember these 2 as I was pulling piles, these 2 jumping out, and I kind of like half saw them, and now that I'm seeing them laid out, I remember these were the 2 that went like bloop. They really wanted to be in here. So that's interesting, and especially with all of the pinkish in here, a lot of like passion, sacral chakra sort of stuff happening. So before we get into the next deck, let's kind of take a look at these three first. So in your first 24 hours, pile 3, we've got right off the bat, the World in reverse. So I feel like there might be something that you feel like is so close to being done, pile 3, and it still doesn't happen. And there might be some frustration during the first 24 hours, especially I'm looking at this card's face. I'm gonna put it right side up. They just look like they're just going, ugh, like they're so over it. And I feel like that's kind of where you're gonna be at a little bit, maybe pile 3 for the first 24 hours or for the next 72 hours. Especially here when we've got the 6 of Wands for the next 48, or not the next 48, the second 24 hours, which equals 48 hours. There's triumph. And especially with the Strength card, I think it's going to be kind of a frustrating 24 hours for you tomorrow for whatever reason. But then there's a victory. You see, and it seems like, I love how they've got like the little, like you can almost like see their thoughts or their little vibes going off. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm being kind of quiet, but it seems very straightforward, pile 3, in terms of like, there is going to be celebration. There might be some frustration or feel like, I don't think anything dramatic, like your world was turned upside down. I really just get more than anything like frustration that this, you know, it's like, well, the world goes around the sun every 365.25 days. I know this is when it happens. I'm just waiting for it to happen. Like that's kind of the vibe I'm getting for the first 24 hours, followed by a victory. And with the Strength card, which is interesting because if anything, you know, in terms of like linear narrative, you think it'd be the other way around, right? Like, oh, you have the Strength and then you finally have the victory. But I think it's interesting that it's here for day 3. And before I start speculating, let's take the second tarot deck to kind of get a little more insight. All right, we've got the Moon in reverse. Interesting. Wow, that's interesting. 2 reversals, 2 major arcanas in reverse. Yeah, but here, see, this sort of like frustration you're feeling or like this delay is an illusion, is what I'm getting with the Moon in reverse. It's not, it just, you have to wait for the fog to clear is what I'm getting. And that just takes time and opens some windows. And then you have the 5 of Torches or the 5 of Wands right under the 6 of Wands. So again, a lot of fire energy, a lot of like passion. And then you have, oh, the Hanged One right under Strength. Huh, interesting. So especially with the 5 of Torches or the 5 of Wands right under the 6 of Wands, like there might be some sort of strife or tension that ultimately leads to victory in whatever situation is going on for you, pile 3. And then I think that the last 24 hours of the 72-hour time period is kind of going to be a period of reflection for you in terms of like how you accomplished this or how this exactly happened for you. I'm not getting whether it's, you know, for work or love, or I think you just know whatever this goal or situation is, pile 3. But I think the last 72 hours are really going to be a time of reflection for you to kind of gain some new perspective of how, like what worked, what didn't work, sort of things. I love this because look at the reflection. Oop, you can't see because I'm messing up. But it doesn't match, right? Like that shouldn't reflect like that, should it? No. Or maybe it should. I'm confused. But something about it, like it's about new perspectives, about seeing from like a different reality even, especially with the water here with the emotions and the Strength card here, which is like literally like a heart pulsating, radiating. So yeah, and I think overall it's going to be a good 72 hours, pile 3. I am sorry, my tongue today, I don't know what is wrong with it. But that is going to conclude your reading. To sum it up really quickly for you, pile 3. Ultimately, good news headed your way. First 24 hours, there might be some delays or setbacks, but that's just like an illusion. The fog, right? Like look at all this fog in here. The fog will clear. Day 2 or the next 24 hours, maybe a little bit of strife, but ultimately victory. And again, I'm feeling like a lot of passion around whatever is going on just because of all the fire energy. And then the last 24 hours, the 72-hour time period, is going to be a time of reflection for you to kind of look at the past 2 days and see like what worked, what didn't, and to really sort of take us like a dive into your heart space and see what, you know, how you got to this joy. So I'm very excited for you, pile 3. Definitely let me know in the comments how the next 72 hours shake out for you. And I'm obligated to say, please like, comment, share, subscribe. It really helps me, the channel. And I really appreciate you just staying and watching this and being here with me. So I hope you have a lovely day, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you. And I will see you next time. Bye, pile 3. Hi, hello, pile 4. If you were here, you picked pile 4. Or card 4, which is Angry Woman. She is mad as hell. She probably knocked down that chair. She looks like, I don't know why she reminds me of, if y'all have seen a very, very great horror movie, The Taking of Deborah Logan. It looks like Deborah. But this could be you or somebody else, pile 4. Like, for some reason, I don't get that this energy is used so much as either somebody you're dealing with, or maybe just, this is like once in a while you get this sort of energy that just kind of flares up. Like, I feel like normally you're like a Jekyll and Hyde sort of thing where, you know, usually you're calm, you're cool, you're collected, but then something can just kind of set you off and you get this sort of Kill Bill, like, wee, wee, you know, like seeing red. But let's look at the cards for your next 72 hours just to get a little more context into this pile 4. And I do not believe I said this at the beginning of the reading, or in the intro rather. So I will tell you, I picked 3 cards from 2 different tarot decks. I have picked them, or pulled them rather, but I've not viewed them. But we're going to look at, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, the first 24 hours, or, you know, day 1, day 2, day 3, and then kind of clarify with the second tarot deck. So let's hop right into it, pile 4. We've got the 4 of Cups in reverse from the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. Hold this down a little bit so y'all can see. The Princess of Swords, or the Page of Swords in reverse. This is such a pretty deck. And then Strength. This is so interesting because literally pile 3 also just got Strength on day 3 in the first deck position. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I feel like the first 24 hours, there's some contemplation happening for you, pile 4. I'm not sure what it's about. I'm imagining it's about either if this angry woman energy, and especially with the feminine, it doesn't have to be a woman, it can be anyone. But the sort of feminine and the idea of, you know, you think poison is a quote unquote women's weapon and things like that, you know, like kind of sneaky, but then like violent, but unexpected sort of things is what I'm getting, pile 4. And with the 4 of Cups in reverse for your first 24 hours, it feels like, how do you say this? Like you're just burnt out on whatever this is. You know, but it's something you thought about over and over is what I'm kind of getting, pile 4. Like this is something, whatever the first 24 hours, this is something you have repeatedly thought about. And it feels like you kind of haven't gotten anywhere so far, is what I'm feeling, pile 4. And with the Princess of Swords, which is also like the Page of Swords. I'm trying to find the words. Please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. Gotta say it once, and now I said it, so now I can be done. Interesting, yeah. So I'm getting sort of like a vengeance sort of vibe with this, but in reverse, it feels like people, I don't know who wronged you or like what you've been kind of percolating on, for lack of a better term. But you are ready to cut people down. You are ready to fight. Like, you are ready, like, literally, like, flying towards, again, I get that Kill Bill, like, wow, wow. Like, I don't know why I keep getting that sort of vibe. But in the guidebook to the Cosmic Slumber, in the upright position, so I think in the reverse, it kind of, the warnings that come with it are a little stronger, so I'll read it for you really quickly. Warrior and noble, you are beautiful, avenging angel. See? Many fear you, and rightfully so. Your enemies are nothing compared to you, but you can be risky, so take heed. Find patience and harness your ferocity. So I think that's what the final 72, or the final 24 hours of your 72-hour period are going to be about, is kind of learning to tame this lion that is very ferocious and can, you know, really hurt people and you. And learning how to, I don't even use the word control, but like coexist with it, right? Because this person isn't using the lion to any end. They just have their hand in its mouth, or in his mouth, and like they're able to just coexist. And so I think there's sort of some learning that's going to happen about this sort of anger. And again, I don't know if this is you or somebody else that kind of has this like flash in the pan of just like outbursts, but whoever it is, it's been exhausting you, and it's kind of what I'm getting Pile for. But let's take a look at the Highly Simple to clarify and see what is going on. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, like you've been working, like you've been going so long with it. Like you've been persevering and just like putting in the work, for lack of a better word, into this situation, and it's exhausted you. That's what I'm getting Pile for. Mother or Queen of Cups. Wow, that's a lot of and the Emperor, in reverse. And wow, interesting. So kind of what I'm getting is you've invested a lot in the material plane in whatever this situation is, or this outbursts that are happening. And the first 24 hours might just feel like, kind of like you looking back at that, like, look at how much I've invested. Like, I'm so tired. I'm so over all of this sort of thing. And you might, you know, day 2, or, you know, the second 24-hour period, the next 72 hours, you might just want to burn it all to the ground. But I think, especially with the Mother or the Queen of Cups here, it's a reminder to hone in on that intuition. This is such a pretty deck. And to have that sort of balance, especially with, you've got like the red and the blue, you know, like the different kind of colors, like, and she's, or this queen is balancing this cup on her fin, especially with the Strength, and then the Emperor in reverse, because the Emperor is usually about like, you know, like rigidity and forward motion and like very masculine, powerful, material sort of action. And I think here, day 3, it's kind of like you seeing with your intuition that strength isn't always force. Strength isn't always material force or productivity even. And I think that's also could be leading to burnout, is just realizing that you are always kind of like go, go, go. You are always investing so much time, Pile 4. And I think in the final 24 hours of the 72-hour time period, you're going to kind of see that the strength doesn't lie in, I mean, yes, obviously you want to have a routine and balance and things like that. Like usually the Eight of Pentacles is a very, you know, lovely card in my opinion. But with the Four of Cups in reverse, it just feels like you've burnt yourself out on whatever method you've been using to alleviate this energy or to coexist or reconcile it. And the Emperor in reverse on day 3 is kind of telling me that you recognize that the traditional way of dealing with or building or doing whatever it is you usually do isn't going to work. And there needs to be a sort of strength and patience, even though like you usually do like to go, you know, like all in right away sort of thing. It's calling for a stillness, especially again with the Emperor in reverse, which is usually like very forward motion. It's calling for a stillness pile 4. And I think that's going to, your intuition will lead you to that. Yeah, and I think that's going to conclude your reading, pile 4. But to just kind of summarize day 1, there might be, you know, a feeling of exhaustion or feeling like you've put so much into, apologies if you hear my dog barking, so much into the situation, or trying to calm or soothe this fiery energy. Day 2 or the next 24 hours, there might be some sort of triggering or something that makes you want to respond in a way that you're used to doing, if that makes sense. But your intuition is telling you to be still. And then day 3, I think, you know, there might be some, it's not, I don't think it's going to be easy, because you can kind of even see here this figure. I don't know if you can see that. It just seems like they're kind of like sweating a little bit. So it's not going to be easy, right? Strength takes strength. I was about to say strength takes strength. But obviously a vulnerability and a trust, right? That you can sit still and not always be moving forward, and something good will happen. That's what I'm getting for you, pile 4. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope that this resonated with you. And again, if you enjoy this, please like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the drill. It really helps me and helps the channel. A little energy exchange between all of us feels pretty cool. And I will talk to you next time. Bye, pile 4.